Hello, everyone. Welcome to 2020. The new year is yet to come. I know it's 2020, but spiritually speaking, we're still in a flux. Okay, Chinese New Year is on January 25th on Saturday, and that is going to be when the new energy shifts. So there's still plenty of time. Okay, if you're concerned that there's still a lot of baggage, you haven't fully let go of stuff, and maybe there's still stuff that you haven't quite incorporated into the whole new year, and you're still figuring out your direction, and yeah, all this stuff, it's okay. It is okay because you still have less than 3 weeks before the Chinese New Year. And what is the difference between Chinese New Year and the New Year that we have now? Okay, so the Gregorian calendar that we're using right now is the solar year. The Chinese go by the lunar year. Okay, so Chinese New Year happens on the new moon, and that's going to be on the 25th. So what happens with the new moon is we start a new energy cycle. Okay, each time the moon gets to the new moon, it's in line with the sun, and so it creates this energetic siphon. Okay, this siphon helps cleanse the earth every single month as the cycle occurs, and what was it? December 26th, we had a wonderful Ring of Fire eclipse. So that's like a magnified version of a new moon. You can imagine the magnification because the moon isn't quite blocking the sun's energy, so you have this tunnel, right? And the energy just gets yanked. So a lot of people, because of this super energetic shift that happened in the last week and a half or so, a lot of people are in a disoriented energetic state, especially if you're very sensitive to energy. It probably seems like your whole life has just been hit by a tsunami of sorts. Okay, so, it's all well and good. It's fine. It's fine. Just practice your grounding and you'll be okay. So in the last video, I talked about this new concept. I've gone through this whole adventure going through all this stuff, looking at video games, looking at videos, and I've finally seen the picture, the quartet of fundamentals in spirituality. And the last piece that I actually haven't looked at yet is actually the voice. Go figure. It's something that we use to communicate every day. It's something that a lot of people take for granted. So I'm going to explain a little bit about how I got to that conclusion. And it's because we have one, our body, right? We have two, our emotions, and we have three, our mentality, our cognition, our thoughts. But we also have a fourth aspect of ourselves, and that's the voice. And the voice is the last component that wraps up this totality of holistic spiritual healing. And I did explain some of it in the last video because if you're unconsciously manipulating your throat chakra or your vocal folds in a way where your energy isn't flowing correctly, right? There's some people who speak like this and they're just like, this is just like how I was born, and like, it's really painful. Some of those people, I've met some, there's this one Japanese girl I know, and she speaks with such a very whispery type of depressed voice. It's like there's something suppressing her throat. It's really weird, like something's pushing into her throat. And just looking at the energy, I can see that the energy is not flowing. And because people don't really understand this. They're like, it's okay, just embrace your voice, love your voice for what it is. And I'm like, no. Why would you love something that is a fraction of what it's supposed to be? It doesn't make any sense. That's where this whole danger thing, like with the body positivity movement, doesn't make any sense. Why would you love yourself, or how can you truly love yourself if you're not who you're truly supposed to be? You know, your soul expression is out of whack. It doesn't make any sense. If there's asymmetry, if there's excess weight, all this stuff, none of that makes any sense. So, it's fine. You can love yourself, but part of loving yourself and coming into this alignment with yourself is to come back into your true soul expression. So that's from the top down, from your speaking, from your thoughts, from your feelings, from your body. Okay, it's all connected. So if there's any aspects of these, then there's a lot of stuff to work with, and there's people, each people have their own type of struggles that they deal with. Some people are overweight, some people have um, issues with their voice, they haven't learned how to use their voice correctly, and so their voice is, they just think they're stuck with it. Same thing with people who have a particular way of thinking, right? After thinking so long in a cyclical pattern, it's hard for anyone to really truly think that there's a way out of it. And this is the same with being fat or um, being skinny, right? Because being skinny, really excessively skinny, is also an issue. It's not just one or the other. Let's not forget that. There's people who are extremely thin, and it's because their energy is hyperactive. So anything they eat, it's like they cannot hold on to it. It just gets burnt. So there's all kinds of ways that the physical body can be out of balance. There's all kinds of ways that the voice can be out of balance. There's all kinds of ways that emotions and thoughts. Okay, these are the probably the two most well understood in terms of spiritual healing, and then in terms of maybe Western medicine and Eastern medicine, body weight is fairly understood, and there's other naturopathic practices out there that discuss about that stuff. But the mind body connection, it's real, it's very strong, and if you're absorbing other people's energy, that could also be a reason why you're holding on to stuff, why you're excessively overweight. And I've noticed when I was living in Hawaii, I knew a lot of spiritual people who were highly empathic, and they were all overweight. Okay, I thought that was very weird. The people who weren't overweight were the people who actually practiced like spiritual healing and all this boundary stuff. They don't take other people's shit. They have healthy boundaries, and they're still compassionate, but they don't take on more than they're able to assist with. Does that make sense? So it might seem, very anti-spiritual to have boundaries, but each person is in their situation because that's where they are energetically. So it doesn't serve us to throw ourselves into everyone's mess, because um, we're creating chaos within our own energy. So rather than lifting ourselves up and other people along with it, we're throwing ourselves down and we're getting dragged down into other people's shit. It's supposed to be the other way around. Spirituality is to be a model so that you can help yourself, and in others, you inspire other people to help themselves. That makes a lot more sense. That's a sustainable model. Because if you're overflowing with energy and this abundance and warmth and joy, and people just want to be around you, then that can inspire, like, oh, maybe I can try that. that kind of thing. So there's all this stuff happening, amazing stuff's happening. I think we might be in a retrograde. I haven't really been paying attention to that because, yeah, I haven't really been told to do another reading for that. So I figured that's fine. What is more of an issue right now is making sure that people understand the magnitude of this 2020 shift into the new year, which is going to be on the 25th. Okay, now what can you do? What I like to do during the new moon is to meditate. Okay, each time the new moon comes around, it's an opportunity for us to release things. The full moon is an opportunity for us to manifest things. So there's actually two cycles in one. The moon is a dual cycle. Okay, so when it reaches the new moon, you can think of it as a realignment phase. So the new moon, the new year, it gives us an opportunity to lay down a foundation of where we want our energy to go. You can think of it like spiritual irrigation. You want to go, maybe you want to build a business or whatever, right? So then you think about and visualize all of the different ways that you can get to that milestone of getting to where you want in your business or whatever within the next year or within the next decade, because we're moving into a 10-year cycle. So once you do that, you meditate during the new moon so that you can build sort of like these train tracks or irrigation or however you want to visualize it, and then that will set a path for your energy to follow. So you're creating a coherent and powerful energy tunnel for for yourself to go on this journey. And if you ask yourself these questions, you can do all sorts of explorations. You can ask yourself stuff, and then you will hopefully, if you're connected, you will get visions and you'll see things of how they're going to be. And then you can incorporate this into your new moon meditation. So ideally, you can do this like a week or two in advance. You can do it now if you want. So now is as good a time as any to start doing that kind of stuff. And then 2 weeks later, during the full moon, that's when the energy swells, right? Because we're getting bombarded with energy on both sides. We have the solar energy, and then during the nighttime, we're still getting hit by solar energy. It's bouncing off the moon, so we're getting a continuous energy flow. Does that make sense? And then as it ricochets off the moon's also adding its own energy. So that's why it has this very energetic manifestation quality. And that's why the full moon is very magical. And it's also why some people act very strange during the full moon, because the full moon just magnifies whatever you are. So if you're already coherent and you're already in your soul path, then the full moon will energize that path for you. Okay, so it's really good to have this stuff laid down. And even if you miss the new moon, it's fine. You can even do it the day before. If you lay your path before the new moon, that's perfectly fine also. If you forget, it's okay too. You can do it the day after the new moon. So the time frame is the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th, right? That's really the crux of the energetic shift. But even if you miss those 3 days, it's still possible. You know, it's better to do it than to not do it, basically, in terms of spiritual practice. Okay? Better to do it than to not do it. Better to do it earlier than to do it later. Okay? Because everything adds up. So that's that's about the new moon. Let's see. Uh, I did say I was going to do a lot of like other stuff, and I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. So I will start. Um, yeah, I will start doing those things soon, and Yeah, I will do that, and then I'll start cracking on those other videos too. I've had like several dreams I wanted to talk about. I have other stuff, um, discussion topics I wanted to talk about, and also Throwback Thursday. There's a lot of stuff to cover in Throwback Thursday also. So if you've been wondering where I've been, I've just been around doing meditations, playing games hanging out with family, doing research, listening to videos, singing practice, vocal explorations, and also Dreamland, of course, doing meditations. And what else? What is happening here? Okay, okay, we're good. Okay, so doing those kinds of things, and I will be getting back into the swing of things. There's a lot of stuff to explore, and also if you have any things that you want to cover, then that's also fantastic. I will incorporate those things in future videos. Okay. All right. So that covers it for now. I am still around. I'm still going to be making videos. I may also be getting a job. Who knows? Yeah. Uh, but if you're interested in finding your true voice, or figuring out your body, your mentality, or your emotions, you can reach out to me also. Namaskara. I'll see you guys around in the next video. And oh, also, I'm thinking of tweaking things around for the Sunday thing. Um, I was thinking about doing lives, but Sunday seems to be the day I end up doing things with my mom and going out to watch movies. So that's like my cultural enrichment program. So maybe um, I'll find a different day to do some kind of live experimentation thing going on. Yeah, maybe Monday actually. Monday might be a good day. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so let me know in the comments what you'd like, and if Monday is a good day for that kind of stuff. I think it might be a good day. Monday. I like that. Moon Day, right? Moon Day. All right. A day of mystery and mysticism. So I'll see you guys around.